Hey everybody, this is Miss Florida Hot Picks here, giving you guys an update for Pick 3 Florida. We had a request to see what was going on for the last few days using a 317 rundown. Now you guys, I've been on to that 2-digit rundown, so I want to still show you, if you're using the 317, just a couple key things that you may want to keep in mind. I noticed this week, just the last few days, they have been running hits straight across. Have you guys been noticing that? Okay. So I want to share with you some things that you may want to pay attention to, especially if they're connected to some type of triple or false triple. Okay, that's a key thing. The only issue I have with that, sometimes you don't know when to exactly play them, and that's kind of why I like the 2-digit rundown as opposed to the 317. But they're still hot, and I will never take that away, because that's kind of where we started from, right? Okay, so let me go back a few days. Let's go back to August 30th evening. There was a hit of 377. Now again, I'm using the 317 rundown. Now for those that don't know how to count them out, they're very simple. You're going to add each of these numbers down the columns. So for the first column, we would add 3 all the way down. So 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 3 is 12. Now when we get to our 2-digit number, only use your ones plus your 2, okay? 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 3 is 11, use your 1, okay? 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 3 is 10, use your 0, 0 plus 3 is 3, okay? Then you would add 1 all the way down that second column, 7 all the way down the third column, all right? Now, I want you to pay attention to several things, okay? With this, I normally like to look for diagonals. I've noticed with Florida, they're picking up with those V shapes, okay? So whenever there's a V-shaped false triple, okay, and you notice that some of the hits may be connected to another false triple, you may want to pay attention to that. Like, look at this 139, okay? You notice how it's connected to a false trip, 449, excuse me. Now, I had an excellent question. Someone asked me, how do you know those are false triples? Okay, I want to make sure you guys know what your mirror numbers are. Okay, mirror numbers are the same number but they're opposite. Like this 4 and 9 and 9 and 4, you can either say 4 4 9 9. Okay, that's what a mirror number is. The same number, is just the opposite. So when we're saying mirror numbers, we're saying a 0 could be a 5, or 5 could be a 0. A 1 could be a 6, 6 could be a 1. 2 could be a 7, 7 could be a 2. 3 could be an 8, 8 could be a 3. 4 can be a 9, and a 9 can be a 4. Okay? All right. So, with that said, pay attention to that 449. Okay? I see there is a V-shaped false trip here. Okay? That 449 leads us into this 139, which actually played August 31st. Now, the cool thing about that, it actually matched the date sum number. What is a date sum number? These are what we call date sum number indicators. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't, which is why I really like the 2-digit rundowns personally, but these are still hot, okay? A date sum number is exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for particular numbers to play on a particular date, right? So we won't kind of just waste time spending on days that it may not hit. But those are so tricky, right? But it happened to line up with the date sum number for the next day. Now, what's the date sum number for August 31st? That's when we add the 8 plus 31. We're adding the month and we're adding the date. 8 plus 31 is 39. Our date sum would be 9, or its mirror 4, okay? So 9 or 4, you notice that special false trip that is connected to, it happened to fall on that date sum number. Now, will they always do that? No. And you're going to see as we keep going, okay? But that hit came straight. It actually came exact for Florida. That is so awesome. I wish they all would do that. Okay, all right. So let me take you to the evening of August 31st, last day of the month. Now this I actually had on the prediction, and I got the prediction. It wasn't exact, but I said that 630 was hot, and it came out as 360 a few days later. Now why didn't it come, the next day? This is why sometimes date some numbers could be helpful, right? Okay, so let's pay attention to this. Remember, anything that's connected to a false triple, sometimes they're winged out like this, sometimes they're V-shaped like that, and sometimes they're diagonal. Okay, so when you see them connecting to certain numbers, those could be hot numbers for you to stay on for a couple of days. That's one of the hottest tips I can give you, because I had it where I played, I had 913. I played it days before. I stopped. The day I stopped was the day that it played. I was so hot. I said, oh no. Because I thought it should have came. I was using a date some number, and they can mess you up. So I have to give you full disclosure. Sometimes they're on it, and sometimes that's where the trickery is. So be careful, guys. Okay, please be careful. All right, so we have here this 333, straight triples. We also have its mirrors, 888. Remember 3 and 8? They're mirror numbers. Okay, this was telling me for us in the state predictions that this could be coming back. The reason why is because the 185, the actual hit, is part of those triples. If you guys start noticing, there's hits that's part of a triple, whether it's slanted, whether it's V-shaped, okay, whether it's a wing out sometimes. Pay attention. That number or its mirror could be coming back in a few days, and that's exactly what happened. The 630 that was connected to that triple, I had this on the state prediction as a possibility, and yes, we got it. Not exact, but it hit September 2nd evening. Now let's talk about the date some number. Was there an indicator for that? Now if you notice here, I see the 1 would be the date some number. How do we get that date some number again? We're going to add the month and the date together. 9 plus 2 equals 11. The 1 would be the date some number, 1 or its mirror, 6. Okay, sometimes they may show up in the form of mirrors on the right side, mirrors on the left side. Okay, it could be something. Okay, well, that 1 and 6 was on the right side. That could have been your date some number indicator. So what am I telling you? Sometimes when you think certain numbers are hit, pay attention to the date sums coming up. We knew that that date sum number 1 was coming up. 4 and 9, that's still coming up. There could be something hot still on this list. Who knows? So around the date sum of 4, y'all pay attention to this chart just to see maybe this one and this one, to see if something comes off of those. Then you'll really start learning how to study. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's see here. We have September 1st, 579. All right. Now again, I'm noticing a lot of hits coming from these V shapes. Okay. And they're connected to them, or some type of false trip. They're connected. Looks like they're connected to them, which is kind of cool. So we have a 727 here. We have a 272. Okay. Notice how the 717 is 024. Okay, those could be hot numbers to look at for a couple days. The 262 and the 579. I had a wonderful member email me and say, Miss Florida, did you see that 262 actually hit September 3rd? Yeah, I was so excited. I said, my, oh my, that's what I'm talking about. Yes. Now notice the V shape, the false trip, was the date some number that it played on. The date some number that played on was 9 plus 3 equals 12. Okay. That date sum was actually the false trip itself. It can happen. You see how they can go from, right side double, left side, or sometimes. So that's why I said, when you see a group of numbers and you feel comfortable, you may want to hold them for a couple days, just a couple of them, and just kind of test yourself. But always what? Play on paper first. Okay. But that 262, and it came out exact. Oh my goodness, that thing came out exact. What are the key things you're finding? These are V shapes here. V shapes. Okay, but things can change. September 2nd, the rundown had a false trip, 883, 338. Now remember, I tell you guys on the state prediction list, if anything's connected from the hit, pay attention to this area. That means these numbers are really, really hot. Really hot. They're all connected not only to the hit, the last hit, 829, but that 136, 443. If you want it to mirror, maybe the 374, 681, 998. That 443 played 344 September 3rd evening. Now, do we have a date sum indicator here? Let me see. It was 2. I don't see it as a double mirror. They do have a date number indicator, which is the 3s. Okay, so what am I telling you? Again, there is not an exact science with date sums. I know people love using that. Sometimes it just doesn't work out perfectly like that. That's all I'm saying. Okay, well, you guys, I hope you are paying attention. There are hits that literally could be coming straight across. Pay attention, especially when they're connected to the last hit. Pay attention. You know, like this 579, this was part of the hit. So anything that is part of, you may want to pay attention to it. Simple as that. That 630, 185, it played back again, but it played its mirror. So just pay close attention to what's going on. Okay, I hope this helps, guys. Let me know if you have any comments below. I'm gonna see you in the next video.